Hashtag your life if you start building wealth in your 30s. Hashtag scene 1, the hook. Hashtag voiceover. Imagine waking up at 40 and realizing that the financial decisions you made in your 30s quietly changed your entire life. You have less stress, more choices, more savings, and maybe, the freedom to say no to a job you hate. Now imagine the opposite. You reach your 40s, but every paycheck disappears. Your credit card balances keep growing. Your retirement account is almost empty. And you suddenly realize that the decisions you kept postponing in your 30s have become much more expensive. Your 30s are not too late to build wealth. In fact, for many people, your 30s may be one of the most important decades of your financial life. You may have more income than you had in your 20s. More experience. More skills. And still enough time for compounding to work in your favor. So what happens if you actually start building wealth in your 30s? Let's imagine your life, decade by decade. Hashtag 2D animation prompt. Clean modern 2D cartoon animation, split screen showing two versions of the same American person in their 40s. One financially calm with savings and freedom, the other stressed by bills and debt. Cinematic zoom, expressive facial emotions, simple clean. Backgrounds, professional personal finance. YouTube animation, smooth motion, no text on screen. Hashtag scene 2, age 30, the financial reset. Hashtag voiceover. At 30, you may feel like you are already behind. Maybe you have student loans, credit card debt, a car payment, rent or a mortgage, and the pressure to look successful. But here's the truth, you do not need to be rich at 30 to become wealthy later. You need a plan. The first step is understanding where your money is actually going. For 1 month, track everything. Your rent, your food, your subscriptions, your shopping, your entertainment, your debt payments, and the small purchases that seem harmless. Because you cannot improve what you refuse to measure. You may discover that your biggest financial problem is not your income. It may be lifestyle inflation. Every time your income increases, your spending increases too. You get a better job, then a better apartment, then a more expensive car, then more subscriptions. And somehow, you are still living paycheck to paycheck. Building wealth in your 30s begins with one simple decision: stop allowing your lifestyle to grow faster than your income. Hashtag 2D animation prompt. 2D cartoon character around age 30 sitting at a kitchen table reviewing monthly expenses, smartphone, laptop, bills. Coffee cup, animated money icons moving into different categories, character looking surprised and then determined, clean American apartment, smooth 2D animation. Educational financial storytelling style. Hashtag scene 3, build your emergency fund. Hashtag voiceover. The next step is building financial stability. Before you focus on becoming rich, protect yourself from becoming financially desperate. That means creating an emergency fund. Imagine your car breaks down. Your hours at work are reduced. You lose your job. Or an unexpected medical or household expense appears. Without savings, a single emergency can force you into high-interest debt. With savings, the same emergency becomes a problem you can solve. The exact amount depends on your situation. But the goal is to build enough cash to handle unexpected expenses without immediately reaching for a credit card. At first, saving may feel slow. Maybe you can only put away $50. Then $100. Then $500. But the first goal is not to become wealthy. The first goal is to stop one unexpected problem from destroying your progress. Financial wealth begins with financial stability. Hashtag 2D animation prompt. Modern 2D cartoon animation of a young American adult placing money into an emergency savings jar and
Now comes one
Digital
of the most
savings
powerful
account.
parts
Background
of building
changes
wealth.
from stormy financial stress to calm bright environment. Unexpected car repair icon appears. Savings shield protects. Character. Clean minimal style. Smooth camera movement. Hashtag Scene 4. Your 30s are about increasing your income. Hashtag voiceover. Saving money is important. But there is a limit to how much you can cut. There is no limit to how much you can potentially improve your skills. This is why your 30s should not only be about reducing expenses. They should also be about increasing your income. Learn a skill that businesses value. Improve your communication. Learn technology. Study sales. Learn data. Develop leadership skills. Learn how to use modern tools and artificial intelligence. The goal is to become more valuable. Because if your income stays the same for the next 20 years, inflation will slowly reduce your purchasing power. But if your skills improve, your income may have more room to grow. One of the best investments you can make in your 30s is investing in the person who earns your income. And that person is you. Hashtag 2D animation prompt 2D cartoon character learning on laptop, studying technology, business, coding, communication and AI skills, visual progress ladder rising behind character, salary graph gradually increasing, modern American office and home learning environment, clean professional 2D animation, smooth transitions. Hashtag Scene 5. Start investing early. Hashtag voiceover. Now comes one of the most powerful parts of building wealth. Investing. The biggest advantage you have in your 30s is time. You may not have millions of dollars. But you may have decades ahead of you. And time can be incredibly powerful. Imagine two people. Person A starts investing $500 per month at age 30. Person B waits until age 40. Even if both people invest the same amount every month, person A has an important advantage: 10 additional years. That time can potentially allow investments to grow and compound. This is why starting small can be better than waiting for the perfect moment. You do not need to invest a huge amount on day one. You need to start learning. Understand what you are investing in. Understand risk. Understand fees. And build a long-term strategy that matches your goals. The important thing is not to confuse investing with gambling. Wealth is usually built through patience, consistency, and time. Hashtag 2D animation prompt 2D animation showing two identical characters, one begins investing at age 30 and the other waits until age 40. Timeline grows across screen, small monthly deposits transform into larger investment trees over time, visual concept of compounding, clean. Financial education cartoon style, no unrealistic guaranteed money symbols. Hashtag Scene 6. Stop trying to look rich. Hashtag voiceover. One of the biggest obstacles to building wealth in your 30s is trying to look wealthy before you actually are. A new luxury car. Designer clothes. Expensive vacations. The latest phone. A bigger house. None of these things are automatically bad. The problem begins when you buy them to impress people. Because the person you are trying to impress may not even be paying attention. Many people spend their money on things that make them look successful. Wealthy people often focus more on things that create financial freedom. There is a difference between looking rich and being financially secure. A person with an expensive car may have a large amount of debt. Another person driving an older car may have significant investments. You cannot always see wealth. Sometimes, wealth looks boring. It looks like money staying invested. It looks like avoiding unnecessary debt. It looks like saying no to something you can technically afford. Hashtag 2D animation prompt 2D cartoon comparison. One character buys flashy luxury car and designer items while surrounded by bills, another character drives a simple reliable car while quietly building savings and investments. Visual contrast between appearance and actual wealth, clean modern. Cartoon style, smooth cinematic transitions. Hashtag Scene 7. Your 30s are when compounding starts to matter. Hashtag voice over. The most powerful financial results are often invisible at the beginning. You invest money. Nothing dramatic happens. You invest again. Still, nothing dramatic happens. You continue for years. And then something changes. Your money begins earning returns. Those returns can potentially generate additional returns. Over long periods, small amounts can become much more meaningful. This is the power of compounding. But compounding requires something most people struggle with: patience. You may not see dramatic results after 1 month. Or even 1 year. But the decisions you make repeatedly can create a completely different financial future. The person who starts investing at May 30th not feel rich at 31. But at 40, 50, or 60, the difference can become much more visible. This is why your future self is watching what you do today. Hashtag 2D animation prompt. 2D animated seed growing into a large financial tree over many years. Character continues adding small coins to the soil. Calendar pages move quickly. Tree gradually grows stronger. Subtle visual representation of compounding. Elegant clean finance cartoon style. Smooth time-lapse animation. Hashtag Scene 8, by Freedom. Not just things. Hashtag voiceover. As your income increases, your biggest financial decision may become what you do with the extra money. You can upgrade everything. Or you can upgrade strategically. Maybe you earn an extra $1,000 per month. You could spend all of it. Or you could divide it. Some for enjoying life. Some for investing. Some for your emergency fund. Some for learning. The goal is not to deprive yourself forever. The goal is to buy freedom. Money can buy things. But it can also buy options. The option to leave a toxic job. The option to take time off. The option to start a business. The option to help your family. The option to make decisions without panic. That is why building wealth is not just about becoming richer. It is about becoming less financially trapped. Hashtag 2D animation prompt. 2D cartoon character standing at a crossroads with choices: luxury shopping, travel, investment, education, freedom, family time. Character chooses a balanced path with money flowing into different goals. Uplifting cinematic animation, modern American lifestyle, clean professional style. Hashtag Scene 9, age 35. Your money starts to have momentum. Hashtag voiceover. By your mid-30s, something interesting can begin to happen. Your financial decisions start creating momentum. You may have an emergency fund, less high-interest debt, a higher income, regular investments, better financial habits, and more knowledge. You may not feel rich yet, but your financial life may become less fragile. A surprise expense no longer destroys your entire month. A job change becomes less terrifying. You begin thinking beyond the next paycheck. You start asking, what can I build? What can I own? How can I make my money work more efficiently? This is the stage where many people begin to realize that wealth is not created by one lucky decision. It is created by repeating good decisions for a long time. Hashtag 2D animation prompt. 2D animation of character in mid-30s walking up a staircase labeled visually with milestones like savings, skills, investments, lower debt, but no readable text required. Each step becomes stronger and brighter, financial confidence growing, clean modern cartoon style. Hashtag Scene 10, age 40. You have